welcome to High Point Music Gear Reviews. I'm Lewis, and today I'm going to be taking you through the Boss TE-2 Tera Echo. The Tera Echo is considered a spatial ambience effect. It uses some new technology from Boss, being one of the pedals to feature MDP, which is multi-dimensional processing. It uses that technology to follow your playing dynamics, and it interprets those dynamics and produces different sounds from how you're playing. It's the 100th pedal that Boss have released, so it's a bit of a milestone for them, and it's pretty different, so let's check it out. This is my clean tone. I'm playing a Fender Stratocaster into a 2 Notes Audio Le Clean. Some neck pickup. We're connected into the mono input of the Tera Echo. Our amplifier is connected to the mono output. We're powering it from a 1-spot 9-volt DC power supply. And although you can connect this pedal in a few cool ways in stereo, we'll save that for the members area. This is what it sounds like. So that's kind of the quick classic Tera Echo sound as I was using in the intro. I'll take you through some of the controls and show you what they do. So the first control on the board is the E level. It controls the volume of the affected sound like this. So turn that down, make that a bit quieter. Dies off pretty quickly at about 9 o'clock. So we'll go to about 2 o'clock. Gets much more predominant. And almost full. Yeah, that swell sound comes through right over the top of the guitar. So a nice range of volume settings there. The next control is the tone control, and it controls the brightness of that effect you're hearing. So we'll start off low here. You can hear it's cut that top end right off. Go up to about 10 o'clock. You can hear a bit more of that brightness filtering through now. To 12 o'clock. You can hear a lot more of that treble filtering off as the sound decays. We'll go to 3 o'clock. There's a lot of top end brightness there. And then our maximum setting is really very bright. So that tone control has got a huge range to it, like most Boss pedals do. The next control is the feedback control. Now the feedback control is a decay control. It sets how quickly the affected sound dies off or doesn't die off. At its minimum setting, you'll get 1 repeat, like this. And it processes through that pretty quickly. We'll go up to about 10 o'clock. You can hear it's got a lot more tails there. Up to about 1 o'clock, it'll start getting a lot longer. So you can hear while that spread sound is very quick, there's a lot of reverb going on after you finish playing. Now this pedal will self-oscillate, so we'll push it to about 4 o'clock, and you'll hear that feedback is starting to take a long time to decay. And from here, if you turn it up more, it will actually generate signal itself. So if you've got the pedal handy, that could be a cool way to create some noises by playing one chord or one note or whatever, and dialing that feedback control around to create some non-traditional guitar playing sounds. The last control on the pedal is the S time, which stands for spread time, and it controls how long it takes for that oscillation sound to go from nothing to something. So at its minimum is its fastest spread time. It'll generate that sound very quickly, like this. It kind of gives us almost a bit of a slapback echo sound because it is so quick. We'll turn that spread up a little bit, let that take a little bit longer to come through. We'll push that to about 10 o'clock. You can hear a lot more of that artifact coming in. Let's go up to about 1 o'clock. You can really hear it starting to, the individual components of that swell become very obvious now. And then about 4 o'clock, you can hear each part of that almost step phase kind of sound. You're hearing each component there. And then the maximum setting, it's getting the full range of that swell coming through, and it's very obvious. So if you're into your spatial ambient guitar tones, this is a pretty great tool to be using. You can get a big range of sounds from it. I'll take you through some of the settings that I've found to be the most useful. The first one is like an ambient, a dark reverb sound. So we'll set our effect level to about 12 o'clock. I am going to turn the tone all the way down because I like it being very obvious and very dark. The feedback or the decay to 3 o'clock because I want that to really carry on through and allow me to play some spacey guitar sounds. And then the swell time I want to be very quick, so I'm going to turn that right down. So this is the long plate sort of sound that it can do. So you can hear there's not too much of the swell time sound happening there, but it does generate a nice long decay sound that you can play a chord with and kind of play over without being too abrupt or obvious. It's a fairly nice subtle sound. So the next sound I'm going to do is what they, straight from the manual. I've done a little bit of a tweak to it, but they refer to it as their space arpeggio. So we're going to set our effect level to 12, our tone to 11 o'clock, our feedback to about 12 as well, and we're going to turn the spread time up to about 2 o'clock. And this is what it sounds like. So you can hear that that spread time is a big part of the sound here. I found if you're playing more consistently, picking more consistently, or you're playing with a lot of legato, you'll cover that sound with the guitar's natural sustain. And of course, if you're combining this pedal with a distortion, a fuzz, or some other effects, you'll be able to create some pretty complex tones by playing with the spread time there. It's a great sound for playing a bit busier and a bit more of a classic delay sound. So the third tone I'm going to do is quite a much more ambient sound. I've nicknamed it the Midnight Desolate Wasteland. We're going to get our effect level up to 1 o'clock, our tone control almost all the way down. I'm going to filter as much of that high end out as I can. Our feedback or decay control is going to go to 3 o'clock. I want that nice and long, and I want the longest spread time I can get, so I've set the spread time to full. And this is what it sounds like. Nice subtle little fade out. So that's my 3 favorite settings for the Boss Tera Echo. If you're looking for an ambient tone or to do some soundscapes, this is a great pedal for that. It really responds well to your playing dynamics, and mixing other pedals with it produces a huge array of other tones. If you're looking for a bit of a different reverb sound, maybe you've got a reverb on your amp or on your pedal board already, but you want to stand out a bit from the crowd, then the Tera Echo is a really good option there as well. I much prefer the subtle sounds of this. I'm a bit more of a classic tone guitar person, but I had a lot of fun with the more abrupt sounds as well. So if you want to sit down in the bedroom on a rainy day and play some Radiohead or some 90s Pink Floyd, you'll get a lot of mileage out of the Tera Echo. If you're interested in picking a Tera Echo up, you can follow the links below. We'll also have the link there for the power supply, because that's always a great accessory, and a little bit more information in the members area, as I mentioned earlier. If you've enjoyed the video, then feel free to like, share, subscribe to our social media, and thank you very much. I'll see you next week.